She comes from an amazing family, especially the women, who continue to influence her life. Barb has carried it on and now has an amazing family of strong and beautiful daughters. One of the nice things about social media is the ability to reconnect with old friends. Barb's posts never fail to inspire me or make me smile. From her love of shoes to her hatred of spiders. And it's always been wonderful to catch up at class reunions. Not surprisingly, she was voted best writer in our senior class superlatives. Who knew it would lead her to the career she has today? Barb's many accomplishments speak for themselves, but they don't portray what a great person she has always been. I am not nearly the writer or speaker that she is, but I'm very honored to present her with this award. Barb Roose.
Good evening, everyone. I am a talker for a living, and so I always have to set a time clock because, well, it's just, my usual talk in the world is 35 to 45 minutes, and I'm guessing y'all want to go home. But I want to say thank you to Gretchen. It has been a treasure staying connected. For many of the classmates that are here today, it has been fun celebrating this with you. I want to say thank you to the Medina County School Foundation, Medina City School Student Council, Hall of Fame Selection Committee, as well as my fellow nominees. It is humbling to be standing here. And you know, when you see that happen on award shows, you go, whatever. It is true. As we've said, during our life, many of the things that we may have achieved haven't come because of anything we've done. It's because there have been people who surrounded us. And so I was thinking, as my husband kept asking, aren't you really excited? Aren't you really excited? And I said, yeah. But the excitement isn't just about me. It's because of who's been cheering me along. You know, throughout my life, as I've gone into different places, there have been whispers and cheers. When I was a young girl, my parents said, Barb, you can be anything that you want to be. And I don't know about you, if you ever heard those words, but when you are a small black kid with giant pop bottle glasses and large front teeth, and you're often the only black kid in your class, where no one looks like you, having someone, especially your parents, tell you you can be anything you want to be, throughout my lifetime, the whisper from my parents has always been, we believe in you. And so Mom and Dad, thank you. I have a small family now, but my aunts are here, my Aunt Mary Jo and Aunt Renee. And my parents were young. My mom graduated from Medina. My aunts are young. We're all very close in age. We're all lucky young girls. They supported my parents and helped them with my brother and sister and I. And then over the years, whenever I had some cosmetic scheme, something I was doing, something involved in, and I would call and my aunts would say, we'll come, and my grandma, before she passed away. Throughout my entire life, Aunt Mary Jo and Aunt Renee, your whisper has always been to me, we support you. Thank you. For the teachers and administrators, you know, again, as a young kid, started at Sidney Fenn. And Tom Lair spoke earlier. I wrote him a letter a couple of years ago when I heard he was going to be inducted because my kindergarten experience wasn't at Medina. And my kindergarten experience was at another local school district. And I had a teacher, and I knew as a 5-year-old, she didn't like me, and she didn't believe in me. And as a small kid, I knew the difference between a teacher who cared about me and a teacher who didn't. And so I want to thank the administrators of the school district. I want to thank the teachers. I saw the walkers here this evening, who bless their hearts. I was a neurotic high school student, and they were my track coaches, and they just had to patch me up together and send me home every day. Mrs. Lang, Mrs. Dorothy Elric, Mr. Pete Frazier, they were my English teachers. I got a degree in English because they inspired me. I want to thank other administrators out there and other teachers who poured into my life, because the whisper that you gave me was, "We will prepare you." And then my girls. I have 3 beautiful daughters. The 2 are here, my daughter Samantha, my middle daughter, my daughter Abigail. My oldest daughter Kate is a lieutenant in the U.S. Army. She's overseas serving right now. My girls, if I can hear their whisper, actually they just say it loud, "Mom, can you take us to the mall?" But then finally, one of my favorite scenes in any movie is Forrest Gump. And it's a scene towards the end of the movie where Forrest is sitting next to Jenny. She's on the bed, and Forrest is telling Jenny about all of the adventures that he's had in his life. If you remember, Forrest ran across the entire country, and we saw this beautiful montage. And Jenny looks at Forrest and says, "I wish I was there with you." And my favorite line in the movie is when Forrest says, "You were." And so did my husband, Matt. Often, I left home to do things, and you held down the fort, and you've been so patient whenever I had a new adventure. And there were many times when I was out and about, but you've always been there. I want to say thank you. And for all of us, if I may, as I close, I'd love to share with you something that always inspires me. Some of you may be aware of this. It's 1910, Theodore Roosevelt's Man in the Arena. And I want to share this with you because it is a reminder for all of us that whether we stand behind this podium or whether we sit in the seats, what we bring each day is what matters. And so it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of great achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never know victory or defeat. And so thank you all for being here, for you being a symbol of what we care about in our community: service, dedication, and love. Thank you.